I don't have anything fun to talk about. All I do is work in school. What about you guys?
Same way.
I was gonna ask, how you been liking your new truck? That's something fun to talk about.
Oh, that's true. Really
You got
like
a
it.
new truck.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you
You
that the other night when we were over.
Yeah. What kind of truck is it?
GMC. It's
Oh,
a
nice, nice.
it's a
Eric,
1500. It's way nice. Drives like a dream and
What
looks.
year is it?
It's a 22. Got it
It's
with
okay.
200
Okay.
miles on it. So
she's pretty. I saw it like the day after he got it, maybe day of. I was like,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah, that red pops.
yeah.
So it's kind of a darker, a lighter maroon. It's not super dark like maroon, but it's not like red hot.
Were you like hoping for a truck that color, and then you ordered a different one, and that's the one you ended up with?
No, we were gonna do something different. We were gonna order something like that one I got originally, and then the dealership had one on order that was pretty close to what I was wanting to do. And then that truck just was sitting and wasn't getting moved. So then I just kind of looked to see what they had on the lot, and then saw that one. And I always really like that red color that GM has, so I was like, let's go with that one. Did the smaller motor in it. It's only got the 5.3, still a V8, but I would have preferred to have the 6.2, just have that little bit more power. But I would have gotten the diesel, but who's paying four and a
Only
half
Sam.
dollars for diesel? Yeah,
Only Sam.
exactly.
Oh, I
That's what
forgot. Is your Jetta a diesel, Matt?
Yeah.
Bummer summer.
Hey, but I
Yeah.
do get like 43 miles a gallon on the freeway and like 38 in city, so I can't complain too much.
I guess that balances out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about 26 to gallon, so
I get. I get about 20 on the freeway or so, or about 17 around town. So I mean, that's still pretty good for that truck.
yeah, that's
Yeah, for
higher
a
than
truck,
what
that's not
it is.
bad.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump into the topic today then. Welcome back to the Boys Chat. Uh, like, comment on anything you want. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you don't want to hear. Love to hear from you. Get your feedback on anything. This week's topic, we're going to talk a little bit about Easter, just kind of about some of the traditions we do every year with family, or this kind of stuff that's around Easter, what we start to experience springtime here in southern Utah, just about anything to do with spring, I guess. I guess it's more spring than Easter that we'll talk about. So, probably to start off with, what some of your guys' traditions you do around Easter? Like, do you egg hunt, dye eggs? What do you got?
Um, we have like an Easter egg hunt. My parents always try to keep it like kind of even and fair because there's like that 8 year, eight no more. Shoot, I don't know, like 12-year age gap between Scott and Alexa. So it was like you can't just let everyone go grab eggs because then Scott never would have gotten any, you know. So
Right,
they'd assign everybody like a color. So like you get all the pink eggs, you get all the green ones, or it was like you get one of each color. They like mix it up. Like
right.
that was always part of it. But the big thing for us was hiding the basket. Like my dad would go to crazy lengths to try and hide those things. Like he was unscrewing vents like in the ceiling and putting the basket up in there and then like screwing it back on. It was nuts. Like opening up the piano and crap. Like there was some wild spots.
There you go.
Justin would, dude. Justin would do that.
Yeah. Then we got old enough, and I asked him. I was like, "Well, where's your basket? We gotta hide one for you." He pulls out the 5 gallon orange jugs, and like tapes some bunny ears to it, and he's like, "That's my basket."
There you go. At least you weren't trying to see who could fill theirs up the most.
Yeah. What we ended up doing, I pulled out a sleeping bag and then shoved it into the sleeping bag cover and like piled it with the rest of them.
There you go.
Nice.
Genius until he found the like empty sleeping bag and he's like, "Where's your bag?" And
Don't worry about it, Dad.
yeah, I was like, I don't know.
What about you, Tanner? What does the Davis family do?
Well, having 7 kids, similar situation. Like, we didn't do it by color, like an egg hunt. Like, we would do those every year, but it wasn't a certain color; it was a certain amount. So my parents would count up how many they had. I mean, they gathered them over the years. I don't even know how many. So you were allowed to hunt for so many eggs, and then you were done. And when we were little, there was like eggs that had like a quarter in it or a dime, had small amounts of money. And as we've gotten older and older, my dad hides ones that have a little bit higher of a cash value. So for a while, we did like a five, there's a couple ones, 20. And then I want to say the last couple of years, I don't think we've done 100. But I think at one point he did hide one egg that had like $100 bill in it. I think there was another one with a 50. It's kind of changed over the years. And those eggs, the one that has the most money in it, is always the hardest to find. And a lot of the time, it's somewhere where you don't necessarily want to reach your hand into. At least it has been a couple times. So, but we always kind of.
Wait, give me like an example, like the chicken coop or where at?
There have been some in there. I don't think they call it like this is the one egg that you want. It's like a big pink one, and it's got right now like this is the egg. This is the one you want, type of like the money egg. So like the water control, like the water main to your house that you go out and it's like closer to the road or whatever, and you gotta like lift it up and reach down. Typically, there's spider webs and bugs and everything in that.
Yeah.
So he hid the egg in that one time, and Catherine went to go find it. I'm pretty sure. She lifts it up. She sees it in there, but she's freaking out because she doesn't want to reach her hand in there. And I'm like, well, I'll do it. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to keep it. Like, I'm not going to pull it out and give it to you. I'm going to reach it in there, grab it for myself, and book it. So, I mean, other times, it's been like near the lawnmower. It's been in kind of harder to reach places. But like, we can always know that there's probably at least one good egg that's like relatively low to the ground. You don't have to reach for because of gauge. And so keeping some of them within his reach is a little bit, so that way I know like anything like below my chest, I'm like that's where I'm gonna look. I'm not gonna be looking up on top of the roof and all that stuff.
Right.
So in the last couple of years, I'm not sure what we're gonna do this year, because now that we're all old, I'm not sure if it's just gonna be like one egg out there. There's like a few, maybe there's still one for everyone, because the last couple times it's been like everyone gets like $1 egg that you can find, and then like you can only get that or a 5 or something like that. But I mean, like we dye eggs pretty much every year. My sisters enjoy doing that or whatever, and then my mom will make something with the hard-boiled eggs after. So we've done that. And baskets, they never hid our baskets. They were always just out on the table. So but now it's just one big basket, just a big bowl that my parents dump stuff into. So
Yeah, I remember one year. So like we used to get like toys and stuff in the baskets. It was like the first year we got like pocket knives to put into our 72-hour kits. Jackie like opens up her knife, and then my dad's like, "Yeah, you can like check how sharp it is by like running your thumb along it." She like runs it along the blade. She's like, "Ah!" And he's like, "I wasn't done yet." It was
Did
funny.
you guys get like stuff like toys and stuff in your baskets? Because we always got candy or chips or some type of food. We never got like things.
I think
I never got toys.
Yeah, for a little while it was like something to add to the 72-hour kit, but once those were set,
Ours would be something like small. Like it'd be mostly candy, and then like if there was anything, it'd be like something that's like $5 or $10 or cheaper kind of thing.
Okay, that's cool.
yo, I had a friend growing up. His was like a second Christmas. Like he would have like a wish list for Easter. I was like, holy! He's like getting Lego sets and Nerf guns and everything because like this is elementary school. But like I was like, what? He's like,
I
what do
would
you
be
get for
stoked
Easter?
to get those now. That would be lovely.
Bro. He's like, what do you get
I,
for Easter? I was like, diabetes? I don't know.
I had a friend.
Go for it.
I had friends in California that like what their family would do is they'd hide the Easter basket, right? But they'd like go hard for it. Like it would be like a week long thing. and once they got it, they would get like a season pass to Six Flags or whatever, like, you know, just like whatever their thing was that year.
Are season passes like cheaper for California residents, like
Yep.
in Disney and stuff?
Yep.
They should do that for national parks.
You can get a park pass for both state and national parks. They're actually so worth it to get.
We get one for Gage, where my parents do. They get, I believe, a state and national one with him. He gets it for free, but he has to be there with them, or else it doesn't count, supposedly.
I
So
feel like no one's flagging you on that though.
no,
Yeah.
Well, no one's gonna come and look through your car and be like,
I mean, Jared could just dress up like Gage and just call himself Gage and be fine.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what are they going to
Yeah.
do? The end of the pass, and they're like, "Now, which one of you is the handicap?
Exactly.
It's you."
So they would get like the parking pass, right? The handicap parking pass. And what we would do is we would photocopy that to put it in all of the cars. That way, because we got one that was like laminated, instead of like trading that around cars to whoever's picking up Gage or dropping them off anywhere, they would just kind of photocopy them and just disperse them into the cars. So it was always in the glove box. You'd have it, and it was paper. You just throw it in the dash, and that was fine. I never used it like without Gage except for one time. I only ever did it one time, and it was homecoming junior year, and it was at the high school. And I was like, we're driving around. I'm like, there's gonna be no parking, and like I don't want to walk that far. I look at my date, and I'm like, don't tell anyone. Like, you can't say anything. I roll into the spot, pull it out, throw it up there. I'm like, we gotta go. I mean, who's gonna like really question? And there's times where like, oh, we'll just do it. Like so and so just act a little special. So I was like, we gotta book it. Like,
Yo,
we'll
I
drop it
remember that
and
day.
run.
I parked out in the boonies. We're walking up, and I'm like, "Is that the pickle front row?" I was like, "Dog."
Yeah, man, it was perks, bro. Perks.
There you go.
you guys
All
are
right,
terrible
Mal.
sometimes.
What about you?
Yeah.
My family's pretty boring. Pretty much what everyone said. We didn't hide our baskets either. We just hid eggs. And when me and my brothers were growing up, it wasn't as hard for my parents to do anything because it was like a 5-year age gap. It's like, well, toughen up, figure it out. Like, if they're beating you, that's because you're not doing well enough.
It's because you suck. Not put in more effort.
Exactly. Whereas with the twins, a 15-year age gap is a little bit harder. And so what we do is we only really do it in like 1 or 2 rooms just because my mom doesn't want to be finding eggs like 3 weeks later, and she doesn't remember how many she's done, and they all have money in them. So she's like, we don't want to do that.
That sounds like a win for your mom. She's just like cleaning, and then she's like swipes an egg.
No. But yeah, so we kind of let the twins go first, and they get like, I don't know, if my mom did 30 eggs, then they get 6 each. And then after that, they're like, okay, no, the older ones can go find them. So we kind of get screwed over because like anywhere that's like thought of to look for, the twins already do it. And then it's like, alrighty, now here's the hard work. And like the last couple years, my mom's been pretty creative, and when she's doing 30 plus, she's not thinking, oh, where is everyone, or like labeling where everyone is on a note. No, she's just doing it. And so we'll get to like 27, and then we're just like, all right, like we've given up the right to those eggs, just whoever finds it can have it. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent that my family does. We have like dinner, like a fancy dinner, like it were Christmas or something like that. But
Or if I just have a quick question for you guys. Is like family Easter egg hunts, do you guys do them inside or outside? Because we've always done them outside. We like hide inside, don't look outside, and my parents just hide them everywhere outside. Do you guys do, Matt? It sounds like you guys do it inside.
inside,
Okay.
we don't have a large enough backyard.
We've done both. It's usually warm enough that my dad's like, I don't want to be outside. Everyone in the basement, and he just hides them all upstairs.
Nice.
My mom just always does it the night before. So,
Oh wow.
like, she's like, all right, everyone has to go to bed. And then since as like the older kids, we were all downstairs anyways. She would just like shut the twins' door and then do it.
Well, I pretty much do the same thing. Just we usually, I don't think we ever did it just like my family. We always did it with my mom's family. Like everybody of my mom's family would come in town and we would do an Easter egg hunt together. Like we go over to my grandma's house and like once you hit about like 14, you were kind of like, okay, no, you're done Easter egg hunting. Like this is for the smaller cousins or whatever. And I mean, I probably have 20 or so cousins on that side. I might be overshooting that, but what we would do is they would just lock us inside, say, all right, we'd basically have all the older cousins go outside and hide them all. Some of my cousins were mean and would put them up super, super high, so they were the only ones that could get them later, and then they would just eat them anyways, or if it's money, they would keep it. But pretty much just keep all the smaller little cousins inside, then the bigger cousins would go outside and go hide them all across the yard. I mean, they did a really good job. Even they couldn't find them like after we got done. And like we'd start counting them and be like, oh dang, we can't find these. And be like months later. Like it would be like almost like November and we're over for Thanksgiving. We're finding eggs that we hid already. And we never found during Thanksgiving or during Easter. And then we just do like dye some eggs and then we would just cook them and eat them in all sorts of forms and just hang out. There wasn't much to it.
That's why my mom always used like 50-cent coins, because they're big enough to fill the eggs so that like it looks like wow, you know. But also it's like it's 50 cents, so if you lose 50 cents, it's too bad. But also like they're rare enough that like it's cool. So it's not just like getting 2 quarters, or it's not like getting a dollar bill, because you get dollar bills all the time. The coins are
You gotta,
more of a
you
rare
gotta
thing.
support the single moms there, dude. Give them the ones.
Can of seriousness.
My gosh, Colby.
What?
Did you just figure it out?
No, I did. I just.
No, that was just like a slow burn. It just took a minute to boil over.
Are you trying to hint at what you want your bachelor party to be or something, dude?
I mean, that's. I'm not in charge of that. So, I mean, Jake was talking about going to Hooters in Vegas. So,
I'm so down. Let's go.
Do you have a date on that?
no.
No, I'll hit up Jake.
Yeah, he was
Does everyone
asking.
know Jake except for me?
I only know
I
him
don't
because of Colby.
Yeah,
I met him a couple
Yeah.
times. He came to Logan's farewell. He was there.
because
I
Logan
saw
worked,
him.
he worked with him at the golf course.
Golf course, yeah.
I've seen him. I've just never actually talked to him.
Yo, I got an Easter story. Back when I was a kiddo, my family went down to Arizona for Easter. We didn't usually like get with people. I was like, really just a Thanksgiving thing because like Christmas is just the fam.
Did you guys do Canadian or American Thanksgiving?
American, but we'll have like a nice dinner nice dinner for Canadian, but then like the one that's celebrated is American.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, we go down to Arizona. We're like visiting family down there, and so like a ton of family like all met there, and it's like my grandpa's brothers. So like I mostly know the people, but I always have to like be reminded their names, like that kind of cousin, you know.
right.
So we're down there. All the aunts are like in charge of the Easter eggs, and then they get these like bug-shaped eggs, and they're like, "All right, everyone only get one of those eggs, and then like as many as you want of the other ones." So like we go out, we find all these eggs, and they're like, "Okay, everyone, pull out your bug eggs, get in a circle," and they're like, "Okay, open them on the count of 3." And so it's like 1, 2. We crack them open. They had they bought massive bags of ladybugs that you can put in your garden. And then they put them in the fridge so they get all lethargic and hold still. And then they fill these eggs with them. So then they have like 20 kiddos in a circle. And we go, ladybugs swarming. Everyone's screaming. Like people are traumatized. They're ah! Like some people are just running. Like I swear there were 6 little girls that just start bawling. It was so funny.
My
And it's
thing
like,
is,
What?
wouldn't some of them die?
oh, there was definitely dead ones. Yeah, and it's like we crack them open and they start crawling up our arms and everything, and then like kids are stomping on them and whatever else.
Why? What was their reasoning behind putting in ladybugs?
I,
Springtime, I don't know. They thought
I
it'd be
think their thought was they'd break it and they'd all fly away rather than cause torture to all the little children.
yeah. I think it was more like the cute mentality instead of the
Hmm.
traumatizing one. But yeah, that one was memorable.
That's nuts.
What I've never understood with Easter is why is like they're because like with all other holidays they have like their mascots and whatever. So like Christmas has Santa Claus and Jesus, like those are obvious. But like with
It's also
Easter, it's
Easter, buddy.
like, well, yeah, but what my point that I was getting at here was the bunny. What's with the bunny, and what's with eggs? Like a rabbit doesn't lay eggs, so why do you go Easter egg hunting? And the big thing is with eggs and a bunny. Like I've never understood where that's come from. I don't get it. Or like Thanksgiving and turkey, that makes sense. Or I mean, even Valentine's Day, you have Saint Valentine, which that's where it comes from.
So, according to Discovery News, since ancient times, eggs and rabbits have been a symbol of fertility, while spring has been a symbol of rebirth. And that's why Easter, being at the beginning of spring, has symbols of fertility.
Yeah, I looked it up too, and it was a pagan holiday that was around
Oh,
the fertility, and the rabbit's a symbol of that of Eostre. I'm not gonna pronounce that correctly. I apologize. It's the goddess of fertility, whose symbol was a bunny.
no,
So,
didn't know
I
that.
mean, rabbits definitely are good at one thing.
Multiplying.
yup.
Doing what rabbits do.
So one of the other things I wanted to hit as well was just kind of talking about like what we do and can experience in spring, like in the area that we live here in southern Utah and stuff. Just kind of what are some of the things you guys start to do during the spring that you don't do like throughout the year or anything like that? What you got, Matt?
So, firstly, just to set the tone for everyone, in most places in the world, spring is like 2, 3 months. In St. George, spring is literally 2.5 weeks. You got it, and then it's gone because it goes from 60 degrees from being like end of winter to like 95 in less than a month for sure. So like springtime is like hiking time, not quite pool time. It's not hot enough, but like any activity that you want to go outside and not like break a sweat, like to me, that's what springtime's for. Like you need to take advantage of that. And these last couple weeks, it has been raining and it has pissed me off because we only get so much time and it has just been pouring the entire time. So that's my thoughts on spring. I'm a little mad this year.
Well, and with spring too, even during that short window that we have, you can get all four seasons in that 2 week window. You literally like even today here in Cedar, it was sunny. It clouded up. It snowed. It probably snowed like a quarter of an inch to half an inch, and then was sunny, and then was gone. Like all within like 3 hours of that day of today, it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
walking to the library, nothing out of the ordinary. Walking to my next class, I was like, holy! It's like, I like take a video and it's like you could see all the flakes in the air, like they were fat flakes.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
And then you're gonna have 70 degrees this weekend. So
Right. Well, I mean, this year we're hitting record snowpack up in the Salt Lake area. The
In
last time we
Alta.
had it, yeah, like the last time we had it this bad and this late, it was 1983 or 84 up in Salt Lake, like State Street flooded
yeah,
because the snow was so late and it stayed for so long and it was so bad that they flooded up there. And like people are worried that it's going to happen again, but now like the infrastructure is better now. They've got like stuff in place to keep that from hopefully happening or causing not as much damage as it used to. But I mean, they've extended the ski season up there
Yeah, I
because of
mean,
all the snow.
even in, I think I saw a map that was southwestern Utah. We are at 260% snowpack right now. Like that's going from like our 60 or 70% last year to well over double. Like, but I think it's a great thing just because, like, especially look at Lake Powell, how low Lake Powell was.
It's so
Like,
low.
I'm
Right.
sure it's going to gain like 10 plus feet this year because of runoff. I think
Yeah.
is what it's projected,
Right.
which is
That's the
massive.
hope. That's
Yeah.
the hope.
It's been a good year to be a skier.
Oh yeah.
There was one of those resorts up in northern Utah, I think. I don't know, somewhere north of here. They had to close because the snow is touching the lift, like the chair
Yeah.
you sit in, which is usually like 40 feet in the air. That's nuts.
That is crazy.
I saw that happen in a resort in California somewhere.
Oh
The
yeah,
snow
yeah.
was so high it was at the top of the ski lift, like where it like
The Tahoe.
connects the poles.
Yeah,
Was it
that's in
Tahoe?
Bend. Yeah,
Which I mean,
Tahoe
which
had
it's
the
great.
same
It's great for the area because California needs the moisture, and so I saw that for the first time in however many years. They're not like as in such a crazy drought as they have been. Like they've actually received enough precipitation this last year that they're not as dying as they have been.
They
which
can
is
actually
great,
run their
so.
sprinklers.
don't get too excited.
No, you're right. Sorry. They can take their full length showers. That's about it.
There we go. So
No, I went out to the waterfalls out by Gunlock the other day. It's like those are usually dried up, but
Yeah.
like unless you go right after it rains or something. But there's like tons of water flowing. It's super pretty looking.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think Gunlock, they're just going to keep it open and just let it flood and get it drained out a little bit more because it was at like 110% full like after that one big rainstorm. So they're just kind of letting it get out for a minute and push it downstream a little bit more.
Yo, biggest pet peeve of the spring, the pollen.
Oh, it drives me
Holy.
nuts.
So
That and all the people in town for soccer tournaments, softball, baseball tournaments,
dude.
all the old people that are still in town.
That's the
Yeah.
big pet peeve for me.
Oh, I can't stand people.
Every single weekend. Like we drove up to northern Utah this last weekend. Our side completely clear. The side like going the
Okay.
opposite direction of us, oh boy, it was packed the entire time. And every single one of those people was in St. George.
Oh yeah.
Every one of them. Every weekend for like a month and a half straight. Because it's like the best weather that you can get within 600 miles.
It's also the parts of their spring break this last week. Up in certain parts of.
There's sports tournaments. There's like the marathon.
Well, that's not for
Parade of Homes.
6 months.
Well, you got the
Iron Man.
weekend.
The Ironman's in May, isn't it? May or June?
Yeah,
I think it's May.
But
The St. George Marathon's not till October.
they do two. They've been doing two the last couple of years. They've been doing one in April and one in
And then you
October.
do a spring and a fall one. Yeah.
Is it a different one? Because it's not the main one. Because the main one is always in October, so it might be like the Snow Canyon or something different.
Well, they still call it the St. George Marathon, I thought.
They do? Is it the half?
Maybe it is the half.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think I think they're gonna combine it now or something. I don't know.
Oh.
But I know the big one, the really big one, it is in October and it kicks off the senior games as well. They're usually the same weekend. And that weekend is nuts here.
Yeah.
That was the weekend we got married. Woo!
Cedar's going to start getting bad too with summer games stuff too.
Oh, that's right.
Summer games are going to be awful. Talk about old people all in one area.
It used to piss me off whenever these things would happen because there was traffic in St. George. But now, like, even if there's nothing going on, like rush hour trying to get home, like 5, 6 o'clock, don't take River Road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, never.
Right.
You take the freeway if it's 5 or 6, just because there's going to be all the people, but they're at least going fast. On river, everyone just doesn't know where they're going until they're there.
Stoplight.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful taking the freeway though, because you take the Brigham Road exit, that roundabout's
nightmare.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Good luck.
It's pretty bad over there.
Yeah.
You're better off going all the way down to 2 and then going up Parkway and taking the south end of River Road.
Yeah,
No, just
Because
get off at
River Road to a point clears out.
yeah.
no, get off at Dixie Drive, cut across, then go down.
That's even horrible.
That's even
worse.
worse.
Riverside right there, going up. Ooh,
Riverside's
worse,
just
dude.
as bad as River.
everywhere just sucks.
Yeah.
Everywhere just sucks.
Springtime just means lots of action in St. George, and it's the worst.
Get lots of everything. You can go skiing or snowboarding in the morning, be down to the Snow Canyon or whatever in the afternoon for a nice hike in the nice warm weather. You can just round it off with everything you want all one day.
Go boating at Sand Hollow.
Yep. Put a wetsuit for that.
Springtime of four-wheeling or dirt bikes, though, right after the rain hits. So, like,
Especially in the sand. Get that sand nice and packed down, or it's perfect. Well, I think that rounds that off pretty nicely. What about you guys? Got anything last minute stuff to say about spring and Easter and all that fun jazz?
The best part about spring is it's lacrosse season.
woo!
PLL, end of August, they're going to Salt Lake. Their last regular season games, the 25th and 26th. They're going to be at the Zions Bank Stadium of August.
Doesn't PLL start up in, like, May or very
May.
start of June?
Yeah, it's like the end of May into June.
It's like right after just
Right after
tad bit
college.
overlap of college, or just right
Mhm.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's cool that, like, there's college players that can play summer ball at a professional level. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
All
I
right,
like that
well,
the sun goes down so late.
yeah.
Sorry, I just
No,
trying to
you're
get that
good.
in there
You're
before
good.
you say
I'm trying to
anything. That's just from like a photographer's point of view. Is I like being able to get home from work and still have a couple hours worth of light to work with. That, and it's not like 9 o'clock like how late it gets here in the summer. Like this, like you still get light at 9, which is great, but it's like the perfect light. It's beautiful because you like the rainy season, you get the clouds, skies are so pretty.
Mhm.
Desert
Best
sunset.
time. Facts.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today on this week's episode on the podcast. If you got any suggestions to do fun stuff during the spring in your area, or just some tips and tricks for surviving spring to get it to summer, or whatever you want to tell us, we're open to suggestions. So we'll catch you guys next week. Adios.
Yeah.
Bye.